Shares her story.
I felt horrible. I couldn't move my leg at all.
Chris 6 talks to her about the frightening experience that sent her to the hospital.
From Chris TV, this is Chris 6 News at 10.
Bacteria in the water remains a concern tonight across the coastal bend. Team coverage tonight beginning with Bart Bedsole, who spoke to a flesh-eating bacteria survivor today.
Stephania, it was VIBRIO, and Lacey Rogers is still recovering. And while she plans on eventually returning to the water, her case is a warning for others who may find themselves in the exact same situation that she did. A month later, Lacey Rogers is finally going back to work. On June 10th, she and her daughter went fishing in Redfish Bay. She stepped out of her kayak to gather some bait and cut her knee on an oyster shell.
As soon as it happened, I got out of the water and immediately started pouring bottled water, hydrogen peroxide.
But 3 days later, her knee was getting worse. An x-ray at the ER revealed fragments of oyster shells were still inside her knee. So her doctor, County Health Director James Mobley, sent her to an orthopedic surgeon, suspecting it was a case of VIBRIO. The surgeon saw her and ordered an operation that night.
He's warning me about the infection, the flesh-eating bacteria, that knows that's what it is, hope that it's just in the tissue and hadn't gone down to the bone yet. Otherwise, there is a possibility I could have lost my leg.
Amarillo native Doug James did lose his leg to VIBRIO after scraping his knee in Rockport around the same time and waiting a bit too long to seek help. After 2 surgeries and 8 days in the hospital, Lacey was allowed to continue her recovery at home. Had she waited another day to get help, she could have easily lost her leg or worse.
Just glad I went when I did and it's gone. And I kept my leg.
Lacey will continue going to the beach and fishing in her kayak, but plans on bringing her own bait next time instead of trying to step out to catch it herself. Her advice to others: don't take even the smallest cuts lightly if they occur in salt water. If there's a question, get it checked out. Lee?
Well, fair warning about this next story.
Yeah, some of the pictures are pretty graphic. This week's story is about the flesh-eating bacteria VIBRIO. We're dredging up bitter memories for a Kingsville man. Dwayne Unterbrick came down with the infection 5 years ago. He scratched his leg on a fishtail, and by the next morning, he was incoherent and in pain. VIBRIO made a big mess of his leg. Unterbrick spent 28 days in the hospital, had 7 surgeries, and was bedridden for 3 months.
Everything behind your leg is tight, and so you just hobble on it. You don't, what you call walk long distances. You stand up 15, 20 minutes, you lay down or sit down on something just to take your, pressure off of it.
Here's the thing, Unterbrink isn't alone. A few weeks ago, a Corpus Christi woman was infected with VIBRIO after she cut her leg on an oyster shell. She got immediate treatment at a hospital, and she says that is the only thing that saved her life.